guys, we're continuing on with the Mattel ThunderCats Classics line. Today we're taking a look at the November release, Pumyra. Alright, now as far as packaging goes, there's not a whole lot new to talk about here. This is the same as we've come to expect in this line. So we've got the black mailer box, got the logo for the ThunderCats since she's a ThunderCat. We've got Pumyra's name, we've got some artwork, the back has nothing, and then we've got Cat's lair. So we'll pop this out, take a look at her, slide her on out. All right, so here she is out of the mailer, and as you can see, this is the standard packaging that we've come to expect from ThunderCats Classics at this point. We've got our figure in the window box. We've got Lino doing sight beyond sight with the sword rising up into the plastic. So I love this design. I think it's great. We've got some Pumyra artwork on the left side. We've got artwork on the back and a bio, and this is, as far as packaging goes, this is odd to me. Well, up until now, we've had pretty consistent levels of packaging artwork, and this is strikingly different from all the others. So in doing some research on the line, I found that a lot of the artwork used up until now is from a calendar that was made back in 2012, I believe, and Pumyra is not in that calendar, so there's no artwork to pull from that. A lot of the box artwork you can find, it's just one of the monthly spreads in that calendar. So I guess Mattel had to whip up some artwork, and I do not like this. I think this is really ugly. It doesn't look like the show. It doesn't fit with the rest of the artwork. It's a minor nitpicky kind of thing. I just think it looks kind of goofy. She looks really weird. It's an odd style, but you know, what can you do? They either have the artwork or they don't. So again, we've got a bio like usual, and then we've got her name and the logo. So let's pull her out. All right, so here she is out of the package. And as you can see, she's got that, you know, classic style Pumyra look to her. Let's go over sculpt first, because I think that's the big point of contention with this character here. So we'll just go over kind of the basics first. We've got, go over the head. She's got the hair that drops down there. It's got a nice head sculpt, you know, good paint apps on it. Range of motion is slightly limited because of the hair. Not too bad though. One thing that sticks out to me is she has a tall neck. So, I mean, that's pretty substantial. It's about, I'd say it's almost as tall as her head. So that presents problem number one for me. We've got the shoulder pads. You know, she's got her bangle on her arm here. As far as articulation on the arm goes, we've got rotation and a hinge. We've got an elbow joint, and we've got a hinge and a swivel at the wrist. So we've got her kind of tunic that she wears, and this is sculpted on. This isn't paint. This is well, it is paint, but this design here is sculpted, so you can feel a ridge at her midsection. We've got the ThunderCats logo on the chest. We've got her whipcord, which attaches at like the waistline, and this actually comes off, just pops off. It's got a peg, and it's made of a looser, more rubbery type plastic. We've got her skirt with the pouch, and that is sculpted on. We've got limited rotation at the thigh because of the skirt, but it does have a slit on the left leg, so this comes out a bit further. The pouch doesn't allow for that too much, although there is a small slit there. This brings up my second point of contention because she is too tall. It's not that the legs are too long, it's that they sit really low. So like the legs are jointed at about here, but her waist is up here. So there's like more space in between than what there really should be. So I'll do a comparison shot with Lino here in a bit, but she is taller than every other character in this line, which is not how she should be. She's not a tall character. She should be pretty short. As far as the knees go, we've got a joint at the knee. I've got a paint issue on mine. I've got some red in the left knee joint. We've got no boot articulation, but there is a hinge at the ankle and a little bit of a rocker there. And we've got the sculpted jewels on her boots. So, I mean, overall, I think she looks okay. Compared to the other ThunderCats, I don't think she really stacks up. I think she's probably the weakest figure in the line in terms of sculpt, and that her height issue is just odd to me. I don't know where the loss in translation went on who should be the tallest, but it's definitely not Pumyra. So let's take a look at accessories real quick. Okay, so here are her spread of accessories. So we've got her whipcord that is unfurled, not attached to her belt. So you would remove it from the figure to use this to be accurate. We've got the kind of throwing star here. We've got an extra set of hands. So on the figure to begin with, we've got a gripping right hand, which is honestly too loose, but I'll talk about that here in a second when we pose her up. We've got a style pose hand. We've got a gripping left hand, and then we have a closed fist for the right hand. And then we have one of the kind of pack-ins for the line is one of the treasures of Thundera. This is the totem of Dara. It's kind of like a healing totem, so they threw it with her. We'll see more of that in the line as well. So as far as the usage of the accessories goes, the throwing star doesn't really fit in her right hand too well. Like you can see, it just pops right out. You can pose it in there, and I've had mine staying in there just fine, but you got to get it just right, it seems. Like kind of, you know, wedge it in there between the thumb and the fingers. But the one that works the best is, let me pop that out, is the left hand. And you can get it to hold the totem better. It holds the whipcord better. It's a tighter fit. Now the hands are a bit gummier, so you can play with them to get them to hold the accessories just fine. But this is another instance of kind of a weird hand situation with these figures where some are just too open or some are too closed. So let's take a look at her alongside Lion-O and then wrap this one up. So here's Pumyra next to Lion-O, and you can see it's not a strikingly huge difference, but Pumyra should be shorter than Lion-O. She should not be taller than him. So, you know, we've got a little bit of a difference. It's not much. She stands just slightly taller than Lion-O's hair. So it's not drastic, but again, she shouldn't be even the same height. She should be shorter. So that's the one negative I've really got about this figure. I can deal with the issues holding the accessories just because I can work around it. And like I said, I've been able to pose her just fine this way. So, you know, I like the overall sculpt. I don't really have any paint issues on mine except for that knee joint. Other than that, I like her look. I like her style. I like the head sculpt. I like the face paint. I just don't like the issues that make her too tall. So, and to me, that is the neck being oddly large, and then how the legs are jointed to be so low on the body to begin with. I do like the accessories. I like that we get an open and closed whipcord. I like that we have extra hands. You know, I like this style pose hand quite a bit. That's what I'm going to be using her with mostly. And then I like the totem of Dara just as a little thing. It's something cool to add in there that kind of brings more to the table as far as these figures go. So, you know, overall, she's not a bad figure. She's not great. She's definitely the weakest of the bunch as far as I'm concerned. And it's kind of insult to injury to get her when everybody wants Cheetara. So it's even worse that this is not the greatest figure in the line. And we should have gotten Cheetara instead. And now the future of the line is uncertain. So, you know, that's going to bring this to a close, everybody. As always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.